Hello everyone, welcome to Physics with Akshay Gole, the channel where we make physics fun for you. Today we are going to talk about motion. What is motion? Motion is one of the important topic in physics. Motion is when an object changes its position with respect to time. First of all, we have to distinguish between two states of motion. One is body at rest. A body at rest is when an object does not changes its position with respect to surrounding. For example, this ball is at rest because it is not moving with relative to the surrounding. Second one is body in motion. A body in motion is when an object does change its position with respect to surrounding. For example, this ball that I am throwing in air is in motion because it is moving relative to its surrounding. Let us see how we can classify it according to different criteria. One way to classify the motion is according to the direction of movement. One-dimensional moment. One-dimensional motion is when an object moves along a straight line like a car on a straight road. Next one is two-dimensional motion, is when an object moves on a plane like a car moving on a horizontal curved path. Third one is a three-dimensional motion, that is when a car is moving upward or downward on a curvy path on an inclined road. Next is according to the state of motion, in which first point is uniform motion, is an object is performing uniform motion when an object moves with a constant speed and direction, like a train is moving with a constant speed on a straight track. Second one is called as non-uniform motion. The object is performing non-uniform motion when an object changes its speed or direction or both, like a roller coaster route. Let's see how we can measure them using some physical quantities. The most basic quantity that we use to describe the motion is distance. Distance is how much ground or path an object covered during its motion. Its SI unit is meter and its CGS unit is centimeter. Distance is a scalar quantity, which means that it has only magnitude and no direction. Distance cannot be negative, it can only be positive or zero. Next, an important point is distance never decreases with time. It always increases or stays the same. Let us take an example. Consider a person is start moving from point A to point B for 3 meter and from point B to point C for 4 meter in a straight line. The distance covered by the person is 7 meter. Let us take another example. A person start moving from point A to point B for 3 meter and takes a turn in 90 degree and starts moving from B to C for 4 meter. The total distance traveled by a person is 7 meter. Let us take third example. A person moving from point A to B for 3 meter and from point B to C for 4 meter in opposite direction. But still, the distance covered by a person is 7 meter. So from these three examples, we can say that the distance do not depend on the direction of motion. Now let us talk about displacement. So another physical quantity we use to describe the motion is displacement. Displacement is how far an object is from its starting position at the end of its movement. Or, in short, we can say that displacement is a shortest length between starting and end point of the object. Its SI unit is meter, its CGS unit is centimeter. A thing we have to consider is that the displacement is a vector quantity, which means it has both magnitude and direction. Displacement can be positive or negative or zero. Let us take an example. Let us consider the same example where a person is moving from A to B for 3 meter and B to C for its distance traveled is 7 meter. But in this case, a person is moving along in a straight line, so its displacement is also a 7 meter. Let us take second case, where person start moving from A to B for 3 meter, it takes a turn in 90 degree and start moving towards C for 4 meter, its distance travel is 7 meter. But in this case, we know that displacement is a shortest length between initial and final position. Here initial position is A and final position is C, so its displacement is actually 5 meter. Let us take third example. A person start moving from A to B for 3 meter along positive x-axis, then it turns back in 180 degree and starts moving from B to C for 4 meter along negative x-axis. So total distance traveled by the person is 7 meter, as distance do not depend on direction. But in case of displacement, what is displacement? Displacement is the shortest length between initial and final position, so that we can say that here displacement is actually minus 1 meter, because displacement taken along positive x-axis, it is positive, and it is taken as along negative x-axis is negative. So here displacement is negative. Okay, let us take a numerical. A body whose position, a body whose position with respect to surrounding does not change is said to be in a state of rest, motion, vibration, and oscillation. Okay, so here, if a body is not changing its position with respect to the surrounding, then the object or a body is said to be at rest. Let us take another example or another numerical. In case of moving body, A, displacement is greater than distance, displacement is less than distance, displacement is greater than or equal to distance, and displacement is less than or equal to distance. In case of a moving body, displacement is always less than or equal to distance, because displacement is the shortest distance between initial and final position of a body, while distance is the total length of path covered by the body. So the answer is displacement is always less than or equal to distance. So option D is the correct answer. Now let us take another example. SI unit of displacement is meter, meter per second square, meter, meter, meter per second square, and none of these. Uh, the correct answer is meter, because meter per second square is a unit of speed and velocity, and meter per second square, actually meter per second is a unit of speed or velocity, and meter per second square is a unit of acceleration. So correct answer is option A, that is meter. Let us take some numerical. A car travels 4 kilometer east, then 3 kilometer west, and finally 2 kilometer east. Then the total distance traveled by car is. So car first travel 4 kilometer. What is total distance? Total distance is actual path traveled by the car. So it first travel for 4 kilometer, then 3 kilometer, then 2 kilometer. So 4 plus 3 is 7 and plus 2 is 9. So answer is 9 kilometer. Let us take another example. A person walks 5 kilometer north. Okay. A person walks 5 kilometer north, then 5 kilometer east, finally 5 kilometer to south. So first he walked 5 kilometer north, then he walked 5 kilometer east, then he walked 5 kilometer south. What is the final displacement of a person? Okay, so here a person starts moving, okay, here, so person starts moving from this point and ends at this point. So line, the shortest path between initial and final position is our displacement. So this is our displacement. So now this is a rectangle, so if this is 5 kilometer, then this value is also a 5 kilometer. So displacement of a person is 5 kilometer towards, yes, towards east. Yes, so the option A is the correct answer. Now let us take a last example of this series. A runner starts at a point and run 10 kilometer east and then 10 kilometer to the west. What is a runner's total distance run and the displacement respectively? We know that distance is nothing but actual path traveled. So towards its east it travels 10 kilometer and towards west it travels 10 kilometers. So its displacement is its distance is 20 kilometer. But during first motion or during first half, it travels towards east and then it travels towards west. So its displacement is 0 because the runner ends up at the starting point. So option A is the correct answer. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed learning about the motion with me. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more physics videos. Also, don't forget to comment below and share your feedback and suggestion with us. See you soon in the next video. Bye bye. Take care.